Oh man, end of the day, both of my legs are stiff. They're sore. Ooh, I need to loosen up. Do you know that your daily routine could be destroying your back? You could be suffering from L4, L5 central canal stenosis, and by the end of the day, you are suffering. And what you've done through the day has now affected your spinal cord. By the evening, you're a mess. Both legs are heavy and stiff. You're having trouble getting around, possibly even getting up and down from a sitting position is challenging. What do? How do you help yourself in the evening so you can get a decent night's sleep? Watch my video today. I'm going to show you an evening protocol with stretches for L4, L5 that changes everything. Every stretch is bilateral. Every stretch is going to affect both sides. Every position opens the canal symmetrically for your nerves and your spinal cord. My name is Dr. Alykhan Shariff. I'm a local chiropractor in Oshawa, Ontario. I'm going to ask you to like this video. I'm going to ask you to subscribe to this channel because I'm going to show you today 3 stretches. I'm going to show you how to finish up your night with your legs having less pain and less heaviness. And all I'm going to show you is 3 stretches on what to do, how to do it. And I'm going to show you how to do it. And as you do them, you're going to notice that in the evening, you have better mobility, better flexibility, and a better night's sleep, which also sets the stage for your next day and your morning. Now, let me explain to you why the L4, L5 evening loading symmetrically is cumulative, and these 3 stretches, how it closes it out and helps it. So the evening clinical picture when it comes to an L4, L5 is that you have a bilateral accumulation of everything from the morning protocol. And my morning protocol is that I do a morning protocol of stretches that I ask people to do to help clean up their morning, to get their morning ready, to get their day ready so that they can go about and have a productive day. It helps to reduce the stress on the L4, L5 canal. But throughout the day, every hour that you're upright, the activity that you do, whether it be working, standing on your feet, sitting for long periods of time, there is a load on your L4, L5 central canal that builds up bilaterally. Both sides of the neural structures, both lateral recesses, both facet joints, everything is loading up with tons and tons of stress. By the evening, both sides of the L4, L5 canal have experienced approximately almost the same cumulative compressive load. The intervertebral disc, the disc between L4, L5 experiences a height change. In the morning, after an overnight unloading, the L4, L5 disc is at its maximal hydration because your discs hydrate at night and they start to restore its height. But then throughout the day, it starts to lose hydration. And the foraminal dimensions are starting to lose their space too. And so the canal, which is at the widest during the morning, becomes the smallest during the evening. And when that canal gets smaller, that nerve gets pressure on it. The spinal cord is getting pressure on it. Everything is starting to decrease in space. So the evening can be the worst time of day for somebody who has L4, L5 central canal stenosis, which makes this protocol that I'm going to show you so important to follow. The other thing to also understand too, that there can be an asymmetric facet loading problem that could occur by the evening. And even though there's central canal stenosis in L4, L5, and it's a bilateral condition, the facet joints that they can get a lot of load on them, that can get a lot of pressure, a lot of stress on them. This may not be symmetrical throughout the day. Now, there can be one-sided limb loading, there can be, occupational postures that come into play, the way you do your work, how you do it, lifting, driving for long periods of time, the position that you've been in, sitting for long periods of time. All of this can lead to an asymmetrical facet loading. And that means your back is on fire in the evening. Now, what are your facet joints? Well, your facet joints are what we call lock and key joints. And it's these joints right here where each vertebrae are connected. And these facet joints help to hold the vertebrae in place. You can still get rotation, okay, through that spine, but you can see those facet joints keep that vertebrae in place so they're not shifting forward, back and stuff that much. And so it's keeping it there. Here's the thing, okay? These facet joints throughout the day can start to get loading on them. It's the way you do things, the way you work, it's the way you lift, it's the way you're doing your posture, you're sitting, you're driving, as I spoke about. And that starts to load up a lot of stress on here. And when that does, and it may be more on one side than the other, as I said before, your back is on fire. You are in a lot of pain. So let me review these evening stretches with you and explain what I'm doing here and how it helps you. The first evening stretch is for L4, L5 is the double knee to chest. And so it's extended now for its maximum therapeutic duration. And so it's important to understand this because it's different than my morning protocol, a little bit different. Both knees to the chest simultaneously, hands around the shins. Lower back is going to be flat against the mat or against the bed. In the morning, as opposed to the morning variation spoke about holding it for 30 seconds and rocking it 10 times on either side. In the evening variation, we now increase it. 45-second hold and rocking anywhere between 12 to 15 times. The quality of the evening hold is different from the morning. And in the evening, the hold has an intentional meaning to it. And the reason why is because you're opening the canal before you're putting any axial load on it. That means before you're standing up and putting stress on there. The evening, different. You've already been on your feet all day. You've already been working all day. What happens is the hold is releasing. You are letting the canal decompress from the maximal compression it has been facing and experiencing all day. And so this is a very passive stretch, which means you're letting the weight of both legs to be held in that position and let the legs do all the work. Let the body do all the work. Let gravity do all the work. With each exhale, feel the lower back sinking into that mat. Now, I'm going to get you to watch this video as I show you how to do this. The double knee to chest, static hold with lateral rocking, okay? So, very simple. Basically, you're going to be on your back. You can do this if you're on a mattress, waking up in the morning. You can do this on the floor, on a yoga mat. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to bring both knees to your chest. You're going to be grasping your fingers and you're going to be holding below the knee, and you're going to let gravity do all the work here. Breathing in and out, because as gravity does the work, it will bring it closer to your chest. And then a lateral rock. And the lateral rock is not a huge amount, just a gentle rock side to side. See that? I'm not moving a lot. The second stretch is the wide knee child's pose that I showed in the morning stretch, but it's different in the fact that you're not holding it for the same period of time I asked in the morning. You're holding it for longer. You're holding this for 90 seconds rather than 60 seconds. And why are you doing this? You're exploiting the maximal tissue warmth and pliability that happens at the end of the day. What do I mean by that? in the morning, when you get up, your tissues are not warm. They're in a cold, they're in what's called more of a cold state. So that means that you're not gonna be able to stretch as far, you're not gonna be able to move it as far, but throughout the day, as you're working, sitting for long periods of time, movement, doing things, working, your day-to-day activity starts to get those tissues warmer and more pliable, which means you can do a deeper, longer stretch. Therefore, when it comes to the evening protocol for this, I'm going to extend the time of what you're going to do. I'm going to do more. And you'll notice that whenever I show a stretch in the morning protocol and I go into the evening protocol and it's a similar stretch, you're going to do more in the evening protocol. So that way, in this stretch particularly, you're going to hold this for 90 seconds. Now watch this video as I show you how to do this stretch. I'm going to show you the child's pose stretch. The child's pose stretch, you're going to be on your knees, but if you have knee issues, feel free to put a pillow underneath your knees. But the variation I'm showing you here is the wide knee child's pose stretch. So basically what that means is that you're going to extend your knees out just a little bit wider than your hips. Once you're in that position, now your hips can go back. Now your hands can drop. And you're going to drop your head. And you're going to feel that nice stretch. The third stretch that I'm going to show you is new to this whole L4, L5 series. You're not going to see it in any other video. And its reason to it is that it's specific and it can only be done in the evening because of the load that your body faces throughout the day. And what I'm going to be talking about is the load on the facet joints. So your facet joints are joints that are in the back of the spine. They're what's called lock and key joints. So the vertebrae are held together in place, one on top of each other through what's called these facet joints. And the facet joints prevent the vertebrae from moving and pushing forward. And that's an important thing because your spinal cord is here. So if these facet joints weren't working and let's say they were damaged, they were compromised, the vertebrae would push forward and that would compromise the spinal canal. So you don't want that. So that's why they're lock and key joints, they hold it in place. But what happens is throughout the day, as you're working, as you're doing your daily activities, whatever may be going on, there is a compressive load that these facet joints start to face, and it accumulates throughout that day. And it may not be symmetrical on both sides. It may be more on one side than the other. But the end result is when you get home and this has been facing a compressive load, your back is on fire and you need to put out that fire. And that's why this stretch is important. This stretch is the supine lumbar rotation. You're going to be lying on your back with your knees bent, your feet flat on the floor, and allow your knees to drop simultaneously towards one side. And then you're going to move them back into center, and then you're going to let them drop onto the other side. You're going to do this, but when you let them drop, you're going to hold this for 30 seconds. 30 seconds on one side, bring it back into neutral, and then let them drop onto the other side 30 seconds. And this is important because what happens is when you're doing this, this produces a gentle, controlled rotation along those facet joints. One side, which may be compressed, but the other side is getting distracted. So you're doing this from side to side equally. And this produces a bilateral reset of those facet joints. Today what I'm going to show you is the supine lumbar roll. This is a great stretch for helping to reset the facet joints. If you've got any facet joint irritation in your lower back, this is a wonderful stretch to do. And Sarah here is going to demonstrate the stretch for us. So Sarah, I'm going to get you to go onto your back. Great. Now, when you're on your back, knees are going to be up. Basically, you want to have your lower back flat against the floor. You can do this on the mattress if you're getting up in the morning. And basically what you're doing here is you're basically doing all the motion straight at your knees. You want to bring both your knees together to one side. And then you're going to hold that for a little bit, and then you're going to bring it over to the other side. And that's it. You're going to go back and forth. And this is your supine lumbar roll rotation. Very easy, simple stretch to do. So this stretch is performed after the first two stretches. The sequence is deliberate, and this is why. The first two stretches help to decompress the spine. You need to do that first before you attempt to reset the facet joints. The sequence has to be in this manner, and it makes a difference. Double knee to chest with extended rocking, 45 seconds plus 12 to 15 rocks on either side bilaterally. Then you're going into the child's pose with the wider knee, but you're holding it for 90 seconds or as best you can to get up to 90 seconds. And then you get into your facet reset, the lumbar spine rotation. And you're making sure your shoulders are flat on the mat, and you're rotating, you're dropping your knees on either side and rotating those facet joints. 3 stretches. That's all you got to do. These 3 stretches before you go to bed. And if you really want to optimize the way your spine functions, then you also add in my morning protocol and you watch that video and you combine both of these. And if you want to take it to the next level, you make sure you're getting therapy too, because that's a game changer. Seeing a chiropractor, getting that chiropractic care, helping to improve that spine mobility, as well as those stretches, that changes everything. And that allows you to live a functional life. So tonight, both sides, bilaterally, before you sleep, do these stretches. Like this video, subscribe to my channel. You're going to keep on seeing more and more videos coming out that's going to help educate you on taking better care of yourself. My name is Dr. Alykhan Shariff. I'm a local chiropractor in Oshawa, Ontario. My clinic name is Infinite Healing Chiropractic and Wellness Center. Thank you for joining me today.